Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
We're live, FYI.
For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's,
Okay, cool.
and He hath set the world upon
Say
them.
what's up in the chat.
The world also shall be stable,
After we start,
but it
we're
be
doing
not
the intro
moved.
now, obviously.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first ever episode of Fighting Fiction. I have one of my new friends and brothers, Matthew Beavers, coming from back to the Covenant. So I'll go ahead and introduce him. He has been a really big blessing. Met him at our September meetup, and just he has really motivated me and got me on track, helped me make improvements. He's sort of I say a lot smarter with this technology stuff. So helping me out along the way. So how you doing, Matthew?
Great, brother. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm going to be multitasking as always with this. I like seeing you guys here in the chat. Got a lot of good people. I think I saw Ron Hagberg, the legend, the man who's helped me out with the P900 many times and with the footage I found in Florida. He's from Florida.
I need
Alan,
that too.
my boy, Cleve. Dang, we got a lot of people coming in. It's great to see you guys. I had fun in our last hangout that we had, and I look forward to doing more of these. Again, this is something we will be doing hopefully weekly if I can get enough people to join in on this madness. So, Matt, tell us what brought you to the truth about creation. You're fairly new to this topic, and when you called me back in September, I think it was early September, you had only been awake to this for a couple months, but you've come a long ways. What was it that pushed you over the edge?
Let's see. So I'm about, just for clarity, I'm about 8 months-ish into studying this topic like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So I guess I have a cool story. So you've met the local brothers since you live. It's crazy for anybody that doesn't know me. Me and Josh actually live 30 minutes from each other. It's crazy. So amazing how the Father works. So you met the local brothers, Drew and Sterling. So let's see, how far do I go back with the context? So Sterling is the gentleman that would every once in a while he would lovingly send me a text with like a Wits It Gets It video, which I love him now. And I met him in person at Flattoberfest a few months ago, and he would send me little comments like just trying to hint, like trying to drop little nuggets on me, say, did you know that NASA lost the technology to go back to the moon? I'm like, he sent me that text out of nowhere. I'm like, what? And then like most people that don't research this topic, which I found out, is I'd make comments like, oh, the shape of the earth doesn't matter. It's not salvational. Now I realize both of those statements are incorrect. And yes. I make the comment now that if anybody says that, I will say that person has never researched it well with an open mind, or they wouldn't say that. So he would drop little nuggets like that. And then the other brother, Drew, his favorite topic is when a day starts according to scripture. And that's an interesting topic. So he will study that. He will study that for years. And then he dropped a comment one day. You know, the Father knows when it's the right time for you to hear something, when the season is correct and you're ready to get the fruit and him water it. He was at our house one Sabbath, and we're all together, and he made the comment, we were talking about this, he made a comment, well, it might not be salvational to you, but it is to an atheist.
Wow.
And I was like, I mean, that's one of those moments where the Father just hit me over the head with a brick. And then I was like, okay, I will start studying this. And And so the brother Sterling, so I have the Dave Weiss's app, the Flat Earth Clock app, and he said, you need to take the 14-day challenge. He kept saying that. Take the 14-day challenge. Watch the featured video for 14 days. And I probably didn't make it a week. And I don't watch them every day, but I try to watch the short ones, like if they're on 10 minutes, like mine and your videos will make it on there sometimes.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it's like an hour and a half, I'm like, nope. 10 minutes, yeah, I'll give you 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of the culture we're in right now, where people, if it's above a 1 minute or 3 minute video, they're probably not going to watch it. So it's good to have those short, powerful videos. And so your journey has sort of changed quite a bit as far as the intensity and everything I've noticed since you came into this truth about creation. It sort of ramped up your efforts. I know there's sort of an urgency right now as we see where the world's heading and people being deceived. And so you started a little series called, and I'll pull this up right here, called Journey to the Truth. And he let me be on that, share my testimony.
You were
and
number
a lot
4.
Number 4. So he made me number 4, but I'm letting him be number 1 on this series because it was fun sharing the testimony, but it was back when the signal was weak and the microphone was kind of faulty. And he's like, you need to get your game together, brother, and step it up. And so he motivated me. I went out the next day, got a new mic, and it's good to have somebody that motivates you and says, look, you need to step it up. We're doing the Father's work. We need to really up our game because the enemy is definitely up in the spiritual attacks. So his series, it linked in the description of this video. I went ahead and did that already. And so it's there. You can see he talks to a lot of really cool truthers. And are you still doing that, or did you finish the series?
No, the issue, hopefully I have somebody this weekend lined up, but the issue I'm finding is like a whole family will get the stuff going around.
Yeah.
I won't say it so you don't get dinged.
Yeah.
They get the sickness. So the whole family gets sick, or they're traveling. So I've had like 5 or 6 or 7 people agree. It's just meshing our schedules together.
Mm-hmm.
But since you got the Journey to the Truth up, I want to share, like you mentioned the intensity earlier. So probably about 6 months ago, the Father like clicked something in my spirit, like, Matt, it's time to go hard, because we don't know how much longer we can get on YouTube and do this, or just get online and share truth. So I've been like very proactive and just putting out as much content as I can. And so I started the Journey to the Truth series, and I had the idea like a year ago. And then finally the Father had to work on my heart just to change, to do it for the right reasons, not to benefit me. Oh, my cat is right by my computer. Please don't knock anything over. But the first Journey to the Truth episode, it was very awesome because it was West Blaze music. And if you have not subscribed to his channel, I would highly recommend it, because the Uncommon Ground series. But something that he talked about in his interview, that he saw hundreds and thousands of people come to the truth of the scriptures through the topic of where we live. And that really like hit me on my spirit. I'm like, okay, I need to start putting some content out about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. And almost everybody that I have interviewed so far believes in scriptural cosmology. And I wasn't just seeking people on purpose. It's just funny how that worked out.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I could confirm what he says. Like, a lot of people were telling me in the beginning, this is a distraction, get away from it. And when the testimony started flooding in, I would be almost in tears every morning, just reading through these people saying, I've never picked up a Bible. I haven't picked up a Bible in 20 years, or I'm 70 and I haven't read a Bible since I was 19. And it's just like the overwhelming amount of people that are turning to the Father, and it brings them back to the beginning of the Bible. I know a lot of us were kind of molded into, here, just look at this part of the Bible. First part, is kind of odd. There's talks about this creation story that we know is off because we have science now. And so people kind of bury it and don't realize that it's 100% accurate. And it's a history book, science book, and all of that kind of wrapped up in one. And so it is definitely not just a distraction or controlled op or a psyop. And in any way, it's totally provable. All right. So let me pull up real quick and I was talking about Matt stepping up his game here. He went ahead, like, he does things really fast. He's like, hey, I'm going to put together a website real quick. And then the next day, he's like, hey, here's a link to the website I put up.
Oh, wait. It took like 4 days or 5 days. Let's clarify that.
Yeah, 4 or 5 days.
I've built multiple websites in the past, so that came easy. So
I was about to say, like, you just threw that together, it seemed like, in a day. And the website's called truthaboutcosmology.com. Again, that's linked in the description as well. And it has just your basic, the top 21 questions, post, the pseudoscience, memes, resources. And he updates this website. He'll add, new content, I'm sure, when it comes in. So just a little work in progress.
Add a few more posts.
Yeah. So lots of cool stuff here. And you're focused, though. You've been on YouTube for over about a decade now, right?
Yeah. So I haven't been consistent. So what? I mean, the last 6 months, like, the Father really put a fire under my butt, I guess. But like for 6 months, I wouldn't do a video. Then I put a couple, and then 3 months I put one. So I have a lot of videos up, but I wasn't consistent though. So the channel really didn't grow just because you have to be consistent. That's how it works. But yeah, I've been putting up videos for, I guess it's been 10 years. I had to go back and look. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I had more hair back in those
Yeah,
old
you
videos.
had hair back then.
it somehow it went from my head to my face. That something happened there.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. I'm starting to have facial hair now, but you could tell how much sleep I've had based on my facial hair. If I'm really not getting enough sleep, I wake up and I look at myself and I'm like, nah, I'm just not going to shave. So this is one of those times of the year where that happens. We're getting a lot of people joining in the chat. I just saw Joy. She's always a joy to have here. Lots of people coming in. So for those of you just joining in, we've got my newfound long lost brother, Matt Beavers. I met him this summer from Back to the Covenant, and really interesting things he looks into. I haven't had a chance to look into everything as deep as I'd like to that he's researching, but I can assure you he's got a really good heart. And that's how I judge people. Judge a tree by its fruits. He's got a good, humble heart.
Thank you.
So it's been fun. We had a Bible study this past Sabbath, and it's awesome. Really cool seeing the people that he has together are just really good people, and their kids are awesome, and that they kind of unite and do this. That's sort of their church service, and so it's great to have something like that so close to home to kind of join in. And you would look at him probably and say he's one of those Torah people. Would kind of how you get judged? Is that how you get judged a lot? One of those Torah keepers, one of those people?
I don't mind being labeled that. Sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people say, and I've seen a lot of people, they get really judgmental, and I kind of married into sort of the Sabbath keeping family, where I was just one of those who was like, I thought Sunday was the Lord's day, honestly, 100%. I never even really heard the word Sabbath. And when I did, I mean, I heard it, but when I heard it, I just thought, okay, that's Sunday. That's the seventh day of the week. And that's how sort of basic my understanding was, even though I had miracles, I had read the Bible, I'd read, but mostly I had read the New Testament, kind of like you get the Bible. It's like, I want to start where the cool stuff happens, where my chapter, you think that's my chapter. You don't realize how deep it goes. It doesn't answer all the questions. It doesn't answer all the questions you have if you just read the New Testament. It's a good knowledge to have, but our understanding is growing so much. So let's look back again. Let's see. Talking about appointed times. I know a lot of people are starting to keep the feast and do all that. I had never done that, and my mother-in-law had done that. My wife had started to do that recently, and I had a guy from Oklahoma come up all the way from, let's see, somebody said FEB, off topic. Okay, I thought they were saying I was off topic. But he came all the way from Oklahoma, and he showed me some things that I hadn't seen when it comes to appointed times and signs and for seasons. Because in a lot of my videos, I would say the sun and the moon, the stars, those are for signs and for seasons. And I said that, and when we hear the word seasons, what do we often think? Football season, fall, summer, winter, spring. We just think seasons, changes in the weather. But that word,
flu season,
now it's the season that never ends of the propaganda. But
Yep.
but that word seasons, what it really means is appointed times. And so I thought that was something really cool. I'm sure you've dug into that, Matt,
Yes, sir.
about the word signs and seasons, appointed times. And that's one of the things that were talked about with the enemy, where it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How I can't talk. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. And I thought, what does that mean, the congregation? Well, this guy that came in, his name was Chris Fay. I don't know if he's listening or not, but that word congregation also means appointed times when you look at the original translation of that word. So I thought that was extremely interesting, and it got me thinking maybe there's something to this topic. I think we're all on different levels when it comes to the
We're all
scripture.
in
And
different seasons
yeah,
in our walk with the Father.
yeah, we're all in different seasons. So this is a judgment-free zone. If people come here, Moedim, someone said, yeah, different. We're all on different walks, and my wife gets frustrated with me. I'm not where she's at. She's like really wise and knows the Bible cover to cover, and so I'm still getting there. I think Matt, you're one of those who definitely has read a lot more of the Old Testament than me. Definitely,
Yeah, you got to love people where they're at.
yeah.
Do you know the first time that Moedim appears in Scripture?
Genesis.
Genesis 1:14. So we always have to look back at the beginning. And so if we're going to talk about the feast days, that's mentioned first in the creation story. There's so much foundational truth in Genesis 1 that people, I guess, overlook, sadly,
Yeah.
when it comes to the creation or it comes to the appointed times or just whatever else.
Yeah. And someone mentioned the Book of Jubilees. That's a good one. There's a lot of
Yeah, oh, yeah.
things you can gain from these books that I
Love me
really
some
just thought,
Jubilees.
yeah, we shouldn't be reading these. These are bad. They banned them a long time ago. we shouldn't be looking into these. But you gain things. Um, someone said, "What are you meaning by Torah keepers?" The first 5 books of the Bible that you could probably explain this better than me, Matt. What do you think people mean when they say that? Because
Well, I mean, the first thing you said was good. So it's
yeah,
following some people call it the law of Moses, but basically the first 5 books in the scriptures, which if you build a house, you need a foundation. And that's the foundation for all of scripture. Because if you look in the New Testament, if we're to follow the Messiah's example as best as we can, he kept the feast days. He wore those funny strings on the pants that people call tzitzits or tassels. He ate the scriptural diet, so he never put pork on his lips. He never ate any unclean fish like shellfish. So basically, that's what I mean. I'm not
yeah.
going on about that,
Yeah,
but
in a nutshell, yeah, that's what that means.
yeah,
Good question.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
we'll
good
be
one.
doing question and answers along the way. We'll probably be here for about an hour. I just wanted to kind of just reveal how powerful the truth about creation is and what it's doing for other truth seekers and where it's leading you. So, how has it changed the word to you since you started looking into biblical cosmology?
Oh man, what a question! I was hoping you'd ask this one. So, I've always believed in scriptures. So I grew up in the church. I guess I'll give you a little bit of my background. I won't give my whole testimony because that's on my channel. If anybody wants to check that out. So I grew up in the church. I was raised going to church on Sunday, doing all the trying to be nice and choose my words wisely. So
Yeah.
holy days, not holidays. Yeah, exactly. Uncommon woman. So I was raised on all the pillars of Christianity: church on Sunday, believe in the Messiah, baptized, Christmas, Easter, all that. And then I started in my late teens, early 20s, really started studying scripture, studying history. And the Father started opening my eyes to some stuff. So started keeping Torah in my 20s. And so I've been keeping Torah about 15 years.
Before it was cool.
Yeah. I didn't have this nice beard back then, but
Yeah.
that's all right. So, I mean, and then lately, the Father he opened my eyes to a lot of things over time, and then he just took it to another level when he opened my eyes to cosmology, because I'm I'm very stubborn, but once I come to a truth, like I have to have a huge when I make a change, like spiritually, or I come to a conclusion on theology, I had to have a lot of evidence. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not just somebody that's gonna, like, for instance, we do if anybody in the chat is familiar with the Zadok calendar, this is our first year doing it. I used to do the loony. Hopefully, I don't say a bunch of stuff that confuses some, but
Yeah.
I did the loony solar calendar, which is the most popular calendar, and I studied the Zadok calendar for about 3 months really hard. And I was like, well, we need to make change. So this is the first year we did that. And I've changed it probably the last 18 months, a lot of my foundational theology just from new information, reading the book, reading stuff like Book of Jubilees. But once he opened my eyes to truth about creation or cosmology or whatever you want to call it, I mean, the scriptures are a new book to me now. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I understand Genesis 1 now. Like I can literally believe Genesis 1. I can believe
Yep.
what happened on day 2 as it happened, and it's still like on my shirt, it's still a dome over the earth.
Yeah.
It's still there. It didn't disappear when the flood happened with Noah.
Yeah.
And
With the flood.
I can read Revelations and see like when the New Jerusalem comes down or the
Mm-hmm.
stars fall from heaven. I know that he is right above us, like scripture says.
Yeah.
And I can read scripture and it just makes much more sense now. And it's cool. I stargaze a lot more now because I have the P900 and I'm struggling to try to learn how to get good footage of stars. The sun and the moon's easy, but I
Yeah.
look up at night and I'm like, but how far up are you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the questions. I mean, I could just remember it's as clear as day standing out when he's starting to answer prayers and do these miracles for me and just looking at the stars and saying, what are you trying to show me? I feel like you're trying to show me something. And it's weird to think literally I was staring right at it and going, show
All
me,
that
just
time.
show me. And I'm
Yeah.
staring at it. But it took asking that question, hey, show me the truth about creation. I don't care how crazy this stuff sounds. I want to know the truth. And boy, oh boy, did my wife look at me funny when I said it. I'm sure your wife probably did the same. Did she look at you kind of crazy when you said the earth might not be moving? Did she?
She was already leaning that way before that. So
Oh, wow. Yeah.
it was easy for me.
Yeah. She seems pretty wise. Like she just already knew. Like women are
Yeah.
just kind of
She's
I
like, come
figured.
on. I knew that 6 years ago. Really? You're slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since then, I've ruined one of my nephews and one of my nieces on the topic.
Yeah. You can't undo it though. Once you've seen it, like it's really impossible. I've seen a couple people go back to the globe, but they really, it's like, it's always this one little thing. And they're like,
I don't know
I
how you
tried
can
it
do
out.
that.
Yeah. I can't, like, there's just no way.
There's some stuff you can't unsee.
Yeah.
I mean, when I had my P900, like I think the first time I called you, I was in Florida at my uncle's house. Like I can't unsee zooming way in and seeing the sun really close and
Yeah.
seeing a bird fly really close in front of the sun. Like I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
There's just certain stuff that you come across. It's like, okay, am I going to choose to believe this, or I'm just going to follow the masses and be a sheeple? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's certain stuff you just can't unsee.
Yeah. I'm seeing people in the chats talking, man. There's some debating going on.
Yeah, you got a nice lively chat going.
Yeah. Yeah. We do have some of the best subscribers in the world. They will tell you when they feel like you're wrong, and it's good. They kind of keep you in check. Like, hey, the Father told me you're saying this, don't do it. And they're kind about it. And most of the time they're right. I'm like, they're right. I
It
shouldn't have
was
said
funny
that.
earlier that somebody asked if we wrestled in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. He was an athlete. I was a wrestler. He was an athlete. He played ball. You said, was
I
it
wish
big?
I would have wrestled. I would have
Yeah.
been a monster, but I played baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. We would have crossed paths for sure if he did. Because we're about the same age.
Respect your elders, sir.
Yeah, I respect you. I know he seems younger than me. I always think people are younger than me because I don't know why. And
You got that baby face.
yeah. So I will start looking. And sorry, I'm kind of multitasking again here, looking through the comments. You guys got any questions for Matt? I don't know how much longer.
Do you care if I play a video? Because I'm going to start.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to start a scriptural cosmology show actually next week, and I will have you on as a guest one week.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. You can share it. I will let you share the screen.
Let me get it up first. Getting on the laptop.
Yeah.
Come
And
on.
Matt knows how to do all this stuff with StreamYard. Every now and again, I'll call him when I'm driving down the road, like, hey,
How do you do this?
how do you
Yeah.
share a presentation while you're going live? He's trying to talk me through it while I'm driving on my way to a hangout. What is below the earth?
Stop it.
Good question.
All right, let's see. All right, I got the video up. So how do I share my screen? Let's see. All right.
I'm sure it'll give me an option to approve here somewhere.
Yeah, it does on your end. I learned that when I had Mikey on.
Okay, so add to stream. I'm going to add you to stream.
Yeah, that should do it. All right, let's hit the play.
Someone answered the question. He said,
is it working?
Hold on. Wait, maybe I got to do it this way, this way. Nope, I'm not seeing it for some reason. There's something there. It pushed us to the side, but I don't know. If we can't get it to work, we can talk about it.
Let's try it one more time. If it don't work, it's all good. You see an option on your end?
All right, let me see. Add to stream. There you go.
All right, let me hit play. See if it works. Do you see it on there?
No, I'm still not seeing it.
Ah.
Thank you, Enoch Crunch. That means a lot. Means a lot. I'm blessed to hear things like that. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working. It's like invisible. The invisible presentation.
All right, I'll try to put it up on my Vimeo, and then we'll do it later.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
worries, mate.
Awesome. So talk about it. Talk about the series. What is it?
So I'm going to do my own weekly. So right now I'm doing a weekly scripture teaching, and I'm doing a Torah 101 series, and that's going to conclude tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to have My House Ministries on to talk about the calendar. So anybody that's on the chat right now or watch this later, if you want to join us tomorrow, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, click the link in the description and check it out. If you don't agree with what he's saying, ask questions. Matt will answer.
Yes.
He'll talk to you. He's nice. He's not going to be mean and kick you out. That's what I like about him. That's why I have him on. Not saying that I agree with everything that he is into, because I haven't really gotten that deep yet. Again, he's been doing this for well over a decade, and I'm sort of I got my really big kickstart with the truth about creation and some miracles that happen, and so different backgrounds, and I think that helps me identify with people from both sides better, because I can see I'm not coming from a religious background or a doctrine of any kind where somebody's kind of taught me and grafted me into a denomination anywhere. So very thankful that that's how it is, so I can fellowship with people like him and people of all different religions, backgrounds, and whatnot.
That's a good comment you got on the screen.
Yeah, I pulled that up. I thought it was cool. They said, open their eyes to the truth of creation. So we appreciate your prayers. The spiritual warfare is at an all-time high. I mean, ridiculous. And you guys are experiencing that, I'm sure, the elect, the persecution. And just remember to have joy. When you're being persecuted for your medical choices that are spiritually motivated, and people are coming after you, have great joy. They have been doing this stuff and persecuting the elect, and it's taken many forms. And this is just a crafty way to persecute the elect without making it look like it's for spiritual reasons, making us the enemy. They've been in the past feeding us to lions and doing all these sorts of different things, and
lots of stuff.
Yeah. Same thing, different day. Scuba.
Oh man, you got lots of questions. Do you want to try one more time? I got my Vimeo open. See if we can get it to work.
Let's try it again.
Last attempt. All right, let's see. Share my screen.
Natural immunity. Can't say that or you'll get banned. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
You'll get us banned. Don't say stuff like that. Just kidding. All right.
All right, tell me what you see.
FEB Angel has pretty cool model. All right, there it is. Let me add to stream. I think I'm seeing something now.
Hey,
It's the screen.
you see a video?
Yeah, I see it. Let me see if I can make us out of the way. And then no sound though. I almost turned my volume up to make the sound come on.
I don't know if it
That's
worked.
cool. So that's your Truth About Cosmology trailer.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's the trailer. Yeah, let me stop sharing. Get out of there. There we go.
All right.
I don't know if it
That's
worked
cool.
properly, but
Yeah.
oh well. So I will be having my first, I guess, episode, kickstarting episode. I'll have Wes Blaze on. So if you're in the chat, Wes, what's up? I don't know if you're in here or not.
Yeah, Wes, they had a series called Uncommon Ground, and I was fortunate to be on the season finale of that show, and it's a really good one. You see people
Yes.
sharing that segments of that everywhere, and Wes doesn't have a huge channel for his talents. I mean, he's literally like musically gifted, like ODD or someone.
Yep.
And he's a super cool guy, really humble, good spirit about him. And so I'm going to try to have him on, as well as his girlfriend, who has a really cool channel, wildly unpopular.
She has
Morgan.
an amazing testimony.
Yeah, her testimony. She came out of witchcraft,
Yep.
and it's just mind blowing. I want to have her come on and share that at some point. Just a really awesome person, or really
Maybe
awesome
I'll beat
people.
you to it.
You might, yeah. I think you'll beat me to it, but it's not a contest. It's a competition.
Yeah. Nope.
And you're winning right now.
Definitely not.
Clicking back, eating research.
Oh man, Mike Schmidt. He said he met me at our meetup. I don't remember who he was.
Which one?
So many faces. The one in Tennessee.
Oh, the one in Tennessee. Mike, welcome. Pretty lax in Georgia still, yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
Not in New York.
No, not in some places. Yeah, and I'm gonna have hopefully have one of my favorite channels on he's lost his job he's in the medical field, of course, and so they're pushing things more, and he's also in Canada. So I will have this guy on and hopefully see how he's doing, because that is tough.
Yeah,
a lot of you guys are experiencing that. 2020. Oops. Sorry, I am enjoying reading these comments.
Wow,
here.
Is that Russian? Wow.
Yeah, we got people from all over, but I don't know.
That's awesome. You got people all over the globe. Oh, I'm sorry, the world. I almost said the globe.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure there's no links. Conspiracy Music Guru. Yeah, he's a good one. Any recommended resources?
Actually, Wes and Sean are supposed to make a child's book, I think. Remember them talking about that?
Yeah, they got me in on that. I was actually a part of the phone call that we had, or that they had, and they're talking to a lady who does this stuff for a living and putting magazines together. So they're sending her all the things they can, and they're going to create an educational book for children. And so it's
actually, I have one. Let me get it real quick.
You got one?
Yeah, let me get it.
And so Sean from Kingdom in Context and Wes Blaze Music, or Wes from Wes Blaze Music, and they're gonna let me kind of give them some input when I have a chance, and they're putting things together. Yeah, since I'm a teacher, and so they're gonna let me help look at it from the eyes of a teacher. If you're introducing this as a curriculum to children, what you would like to see: interactive tests, experiments you can do, making it about the science that is provable. And so it's gonna have a lot of that in that book. And it's going to be for those of you who are homeschooling your kids and introducing them to biblical cosmology for the first time. And it's for ages, heck, it could be geared towards kindergarten all the way up to middle school and possibly beyond, however advanced you want to go with it.
So here's what I got. It's not really a textbook, but it's real simple. It goes through, it's ABC, so it goes through every letter. So it's real easy. I was reading it to my, if anybody wants to take a screenshot, I'll hold it up. Let's see. Let me get my hand off the name. Let's see. Whoop. There you go.
That's cool. I've never seen that one.
So I was reading it to my 8-year-old niece, and she was liking it. So it was on her level.
Nice. Yeah, my children are all thankfully smarter than I am. They can figure this stuff out like at their young ages. My son was 7 when I woke up, and now he's 11, and I think he was just barely 7. And man, he was just like putting out proofs, just talking about it, and
Yep.
and just so adorable at that little age, and saying, "This is how you know the world's not moving, Dad." And my daughter's the same way. She's 4, but she's a mess. You've had the blessing of meeting her.
Yeah, and watching her drop kick you in your throat.
Yeah, we're trying to have a Bible study, and we're being serious, and she's kicking me in the face, trying to get my attention. He's like, "Oh, she's the boss."
Funny.
I'm like, "Yeah, she's a little boss. She loves
pretty funny.
Loves to play."
Somebody was asking where can we purchase. I'm not sure what they're referring to exactly.
Oh, it's probably that book you had? The book. Was it the book Taking Back Eden? Was it the book you were talking about that he held up? Did you get that book on Amazon?
I got it up. I'm not a fan of Amazon, but
yeah,
one of my second book my first and second book I published, I didn't know any better, and I put them only on Amazon, and I've learned since then with book number 3. Hey, we could transition into the book too, but I got it off a site called Alibris. It's ALIBRIS.com. Maybe I'll type it in the chat. Hey, we can talk about a book. That'd be a cool idea.
Yeah, you said ALIBRIS.
Yeah, I think
Alibris. Okay. Oh, you're typing it right now. Yeah. Okay. All right. My son drops truth bombs on me all the time. That's awesome. The youth waking up is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. When I was at Flattoberfest, I had a lunch with a gentleman and his son. I think his son was 15, and he was a flurfer, as they call it.
All right. You were talking about a book. What were you saying? A book in the works or something like that?
Yeah, like maybe I'm going to co-author with you.
Yeah. Yeah. You, if I haven't mentioned yet, he's published a couple of books, and he said, "Hey, would you like to co-author a book?" And of course, yes, and take full credit for all of the work. Yeah, of course, I would love to do that.
Put your picture on the front page of it. Or the cover.
Yeah. So that'd be awesome. I've never done anything like that, and I like to write, and it would be a good thing to write about. What better thing to write about than the Father's creation? It would be an honor. Someone said, use some of your videos to make a song using your voice. Yeah, sure. Anytime. Just don't scare people away.
Just don't show his face, and then they won't get scared.
You don't use the face. I have a face for radio, not video.
I love it when you say that.
I forget where I heard that, but
Isaac Newton equals Freemason. Oh yeah. Man, you got some good comments in there.
I know. That's what's fun. That's why I like doing these hangouts. I sit and read the comments like forever. But yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff to come in the future for this guy here that I've had on. First time ever doing something like this from the office. So this is cool having him be the guest. All right, let's see.
And I've seen the office in person.
Yeah, it's the hidden location.
Hidden
behind a bookshelf door.
Use the ISS background.
Oh, use the ISS. Yeah, I'm gonna have.
Yeah,
to.
Do that on the green screen.
No.
You got to make sure you're glitching out though if you do that.
There
it is.
There's my Russian cosmonaut dozing off.
Dozing off. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in the background. Man. He's hard at work. So
is he going to magically disappear like they do?
Yeah, I was. That's why we had to do this last time. They said you're disappearing. You need to be like on the ISS. I don't know why my hand was like.
Oh, where'd you find that? I need to use that too.
Yeah,
I might use that in one of my episodes. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I know. David Weiss, he does it, and it's like he's floating. They always have their like one or two tricks they do where they're like, I'm gonna do a somersault, and they do it real. They're always really like robotic. They're like, here we go.
Yeah, and it looks like they're hanging upside down with their pants so tight in that one spot.
Yeah, it's weird. They kind of like straighten out their backs and they do this, and then they go. It's like they have this certain stance they take before they do their flips. And I'm like, I wonder why they're doing that. Like I know there's got to be some sort of harness situation going on mixed with the VR contacts. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Hey, there's where'd he go?
Augmented reality.
I lost him. Earth First. Space Later. Met this man in person. He comes to our meetup sometimes. He's local too. Check out his channel if you get a chance.
Yes, we need to have another meetup.
Yeah, we
Speaking
got
of
to have
that,
another one. Yeah, this is where his expertise in doing all these things comes in handy. I've been praying for somebody to help me set these things up, and he's like, I can help you set up some meetups because, that you need help. I can tell you need help. No, he didn't say that, but he probably thought that when he went to our last meetup because it was a blessing, but it's a lot to take on, and I get real scattered because I'm trying to do all these different things at once, and so
I can
it
keep
would
you in
be
line.
nice. Yeah, it'd be nice having someone to boss me around and tell me
Crack
what
the
to do.
whip. All right,
Yeah.
Josh, get up there and speak. It's your turn.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. So
I saw my lovely bride in the chat. She says we're a trip.
where is she? No, she's there somewhere. Yeah, his wife. Yeah, his wife and my wife. When they get together, it's like we
Oh,
don't
man.
understand them because they're way smarter than us, and they get together and they understand each other, and it's a beautiful thing. Like they're like, finally, someone that understands.
Yeah,
the
we'll talk
words
about
coming out
this
of my
topic,
mouth.
and they'll go over there and talk about what stuff way up here. We're like, okay, y'all get each other, and we get each other with this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad for my wife to finally have someone that understands what she's talking about, because she'll look at me and be like, "What do you think about what I just said?" She'll read like this passage of the Bible and be like, "What do you see there?" And I'm like, "What do you see? What you
Yeah,
tell
my
me what
wife-
you see, and I'll say if that's what I was thinking."
My wife will say some deep stuff, and she says, "What do you think?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
y'all are
yeah,
smart, but we're smart too."
yeah, yeah.
There
Women,
she is.
yeah, it's awesome seeing when women wake up and they start looking into this stuff. They just totally take it to a new level.
Sukkot. Yeah, somebody said Sukkot in the chat. All right. All right, Johnny Cool. That's my favorite feast.
Yeah, that's where I got to meet them. You guys were camping out.
Yeah, and you came to speak at our Sukkot.
Right around the time of the meetup.
Yep.
So it was nice. It's kind of cool. All right. Solomon used.
This is just.
Yeah. Yeah, I've read that book. You're talking about Solomon used a ring given by the angels. It was what was that book called? I can't remember the name of the book, but somebody recommended it on one of my videos, and it freaked me out reading that book, talking about the demons he used to build the towers. I'm not saying that's true, but the book, when you read it, it reminded me of the movie Aladdin, because it talked about him imprisoning these demons, and one of them, I thought it said he like imprisoned it like in a bottle of some sort. And man, it just sounded like all that Disney stuff they do with the genie in a bottle narrative, when the genies were demons in this book. It was a book about Testament of Solomon, I think is what it was called. But yeah, there you go. Thank you. Testament of Solomon. And that was freaky. Just thinking, he was it would make sense that someone would be so arrogant to think they could use demons to do work for them, and that they would be okay and not tempted in any way. That would probably be a quick way to have a downfall, but definitely a scary thing. Yeah, people were talking about Skiba in the chat. That's still something that hasn't sunk into me. That's still so sad. Man. And hearing about the mistreatment from one of my friends, Daryl Lee.
The nurses, that just infuriates me, because I used to work at a hospital, so that really infuriates. It doesn't matter the person's belief. You still got to give them the same level of care, even if you think they're crazy. That infuriates me every time somebody brings it up.
Yeah, and you've worked in which a lot of stuff we can't talk about, but you've told me some things you saw from the start of the pandemic on a lot of the things going on, and so I
have anecdotal evidence and experience that people can't take from me, and I can talk about, but not on here. If we're on maybe Rockfin, we could.
Yeah.
I saw some messed up stuff. I'm like, come on, this ain't right. It was human rights problems. Decorations in the sukkah.
I'm trying to block some comments here. Sorry. Seeing some what look like links. I hope these are links that I'm blocking, because I don't know. I'd hate to block somebody who's trying to send me something in Russian. It's a biblical question. Vodka. It looks like a website. I don't know. Yeah, definitely silencing people. There was another, I think he was called Flat Earth Fokker. Is that his name? And he passed away. Oh my gosh, it's Dave. Dave Weiss.
Oh,
we should have him join in, but he's probably doing a radio show somewhere else right now, knowing this guy.
What did he miss?
He's on another level. He's on that documentary Next Level.
Yeah, I'm going to have him on as a guest too on my Truth About Cosmology show.
Yeah, super hard worker.
Right if I didn't have him on.
Yeah, he devotes his life to this, so that's an honorable cause.
Thanks for the app, Dave. I love the app.
Yeah,
You're
the app
man.
is really helping people out. I seen one that was copying him, but it was for the VAX, and it's called like VAX and then Scene SEEN, and it's everybody's a blue dot that has it, just like on the app
Oh
where
my gosh.
the biblical Earth believers are on there. I was like, they're copying Dave. Wow, that's a new level there. Yeah, this is the year definitely that we starting to tip the scales. People,
Yes,
you can
sir.
only suppress people so much
Yep.
and back them into a corner before they start going, I'm going to look into things and figure this out. And so people are waking up, and we've had new subscribers now. They're like, man, I'm new to this topic. And that's awesome that, it seems like it's been forever since we started this journey, but people are still finding this stuff, sharing it on social media, going out there, taking
How many
names, people like Dave.
how many years have you been putting up scriptural cosmology videos
Oh,
on here?
golly.
Like 10
I
years?
gauge it by my daughter. She's going to be 5 in March. That's the only
That's
way I can
funny.
remember. Yeah, she'll be 5 in March, and so before she was born was when I woke up. So it's been close to 5 years for doing that. Oh, thank you very much.
That's your super chat.
Shadow in time. Bless you. Thank you. Yeah,
So how many years
that
you
is
say?
awesome. Almost 5 years.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but I do remember where I was sitting and what was going on when I first woke up to it, though. I mean, you don't forget when you wake up. It's like
Nah.
a ton of, like, the room starts spinning. Even though
It's a
you find
new
out you're
journey.
stationary, it's like,
Yep.
whoa. Yeah.
There's only one time when the earth really does spin. Is when you
Yeah.
have too much to drink and you stand up.
Yeah.
That's the
Then
only time it moves.
that makes you a believer real quick. So the Flat Earth Channel, thank you very much. Bless you.
.com. All right.
FEB should appoint some moderators. Yes, I know. He's trying to tell me how to do that right like 3 minutes before this starts. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I'm new to this, you guys.
I'll show you how to do it, and you can make me a moderator from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need about 3 if you have so much going on in the chat.
Yeah, I have a lot. I miss things.
What did Dave say about the?
He said the blue dots are growing in my radius very fast. 141 when I went to the fest. I'm thinking that's 1,000. And now there's 264. And I'm assuming that's 1,000. I'd like for it to be 264 million very soon. That is awesome. Yeah, that is it's cool watching that. I like going on there, clicking it and seeing where everybody's at. And when we had sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
We had our meetup, and you could see all the little blue dots coming towards the meetup.
Yep.
And then they were all there at one time. Mommy, just click the 3 dots on the right of my message.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you earlier.
Okay, let me.
You should see it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to our channel and see if I can do that.
Yeah, I think you have to do it on YouTube though. And they can't.
Yeah, I have to do it on YouTube. Well, let me do it from StreamYard. So I'm gonna have to go to the studio. All right. Thank you guys for working through our little technicalities, because again, this is something I want to do all the time, and learning how to block the little spammers would be awesome. It already says limited ads on this thing.
Yeah,
we must have.
You can go after the show and just nominate people you want to. You don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Yeah.
See, keeping you focused. There you go.
There you go. Thank you. Add moderator. There you go. David Weiss is a moderator. That is awesome. It's so cool. Yeah, my brother, he was so like, when we got to do a hangout with David, he was like, this is so cool, because he's like, he's watched like all of his videos. He's like a big super fan too, like me.
It's even really cool to meet him in person.
Did I unsub you?
And he gave me some of the Flat Earth hot sauce.
You met him in person. I forgot. You got to meet him in person.
Maybe I'll hold the hot sauce up.
Yeah, I should have went to that. I should have went to the Flattoberfest, but we were broke and exhausted from the meetup. I was like, I don't know. Whenever we're spending money for things like that, I'm like, I'm afraid to ask. Can I do a little bit more? Can I go here? Can I do that? And,
yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, it's a lot, but it's worth it. Williams. I play a game, whack a troll. Did you want to? Joy? Do you want to be a moderator, Joy? I will gladly add you.
Funny.
Let me add. I'm going to add her as moderator. Joy's always here.
Yeah, definitely add somebody that's faithful.
Yeah. All right.
And it's in the fight.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Oh my goodness, Rita, thank you. What a blessing. Thanks for blessing this ministry. We're definitely aiming to grow And I don't know when the time will come when we do this full time. I do sense that it's kind of around the corner with the way things are going with the propaganda and whatnot, and being in the education field. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing. Any support we can get now kind of gives us a head start because I know that it is soon, and it would be fun to wake up and have the ability to do this. Not that we don't study the word all the time in secret when we're not supposed to, but it's good to it would be fun to do this for full time and totally devote all that time to doing things like writing books and trying to keep up with Matt over here doing his stuff.
Yeah, you have more time to put a chapter or two in the book.
Yeah, a couple chapters. I can't keep up with your speed, but I will try. I'm really critical of my work when I'm typing. I retype things and
Oh yeah.
going through. What really helped me is going through my master's program and having a deadline. And I would learn to do papers because with my schedule, I would only have one day to do, whatever essay they sent me. And so I would do it all in an afternoon. So I got used to just typing really fast and knocking stuff out and not being as judgmental. But it's
yeah, that's why I have a editor. I don't have to fix all the. I'm a pretty good writer, but when it comes to grammar,
yeah,
I'm terrible at commas.
Yeah,
Commas are
yeah,
my nemesis.
yeah. I let my wife see it, and she's like, "You need to put a period somewhere within this. This is like 5 sentences."
This paragraph, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So awesome. Yeah. Wow. What an honor. Yeah. Thank you, Joy, for helping us out with the whack-a-troll. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Trolls. Bam!
Yeah, usually it's awesome. I've seen trolls come into our comment section, and people, instead of being mean and attacking them, are like, "Man, I hate that you feel that way. We're praying for you." And it's like they're like, "What did I just step into? I was wanting to come here and make people angry, and now they're praying for me."
Yep.
And so it's awesome to see that we have those kind of people. So if any of them go your way, count yourself blessed because they are the best that were sent this way. And as part of an answered prayer, that was another prayer we had after he showed us the truth, was to send people this way. And man, the floodgates opened again.
It's
It was
so
awesome.
amazing. This topic will make people so mad.
Yeah.
And they don't realize they believe something that is not true, and it's propaganda. And they started to get those seeds planted in their mind before they could think for themselves. They don't realize that.
Yeah.
And they will get so angry at you. Awesome
Mm-hmm.
sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. Some trolls are bots. It's weird how they do that. You put a video up and they're one of the first to comment. I'm like, how do they do that? Like these robots, just like, I don't understand if somebody has time to do that while they're not doing something way more awesome with their life. They can figure that out.
I mean, some of them are owned by CIA and they get paid to do that full time. It's like, really? How do you sleep? How do you sleep at night?
Yeah. Yeah. He said, Ted says, reading the Bible without all the books that we're taking out is like having a car manual, only having the front cover and the back cover. Yeah. Yeah. It does paint a better picture when you read the book of Enoch and you see like 2 Esdras, or the 4th book of Ezra, where
Jubilees is a big one.
And Jubilees. Yeah. And Jubilees is part of the Bible. They took it out because when they were printing it, they could make just as much money without it. And it was a lot like Genesis. So they're like, well, we've got Genesis, and I'm sure there was some other motivations there, but took that out. And
it went against their doctrine. That's why they took it out.
Yeah.
The Jews and the Catholics, it went against both their doctrines.
Yeah. And they tried to take Revelation out as well. And that really exposes them.
Yeah. And I've been reading Jubilees. I have a few chapters left, and I like to reference it going back to talk about Torah. So I always like to take it back to the beginning, take it back to Torah, and Jubilees is lining up with Torah like nobody's business. So I think it should be. I think it's scripture.
Yeah, I believe it was. My wife knows more about the history of that. She started digging into the history of all of the biblical approvals and the books, and when they become canon. I didn't realize that like canon was such a big deal back then. Like a lot of the saints, they are canonized to become a saint. It's weird. Like what? Like that was a really weird system, making these laws and all the stuff going on, and it was all going on around some really interesting times when a lot of things were being introduced, the indoctrinations and whatnot. Revelation says, don't add any more after that book, and they've added 7 more books. Wow.
Whoa, what
Yeah.
is that talking about? The Abrahamic building.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Anyone see? Yeah, I've seen stuff about that. Is it where they're joining all the religions? They're trying to make everybody just kind of like I forget the way. God, it's been a while since I've read articles on this. Maybe they can fill us in the chat. But
I
yeah,
don't.
essentially all the religions coming in, Muslims, Christians, and
I'm about to look at that.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a name for those services. What is it called? It's where they have. Oh man, if I can think of the name of it, it's where they have a leader
Huh.
from all the major religions, and they have a service together. It's like y'all don't see a problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I may have to look that up while we're doing this. But yeah, I remember reading about that and I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah. And
I
just
remember what's called. It's called interfaith
yeah.
services. And they've been doing it for years, but there's always a Catholic priest there. Always.
Yeah.
That should
Oh
tell you
yeah.
something.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Matt, on the son of perdition? I don't hear a lot of people talk about that. I hear the word Antichrist thrown around a lot, but I never hear people talk about the son of perdition.
I haven't looked at that topic in a while.
Yeah.
Haven't you been looking at it?
I have, but I just kind of wait. I've been like looking at and seeing what do other people say about it, because to me that's really important. You know, talking about this deception to come, somebody claiming to be God, and seems like nobody ever really talks about that topic. You know,
Yeah, that is
and
interesting.
what we're getting set up for. It's like, if that's happening, why is no one mentioning that, like as a side note, like, hey, and I've only seen that word another time, and it was, what book was it I was reading?
Is that in the King James version? The way that's worded?
Yeah, the way that's worded. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have to go back and look and pull my studies up.
yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
different than mine. I think it says something different. I mean, if we
yeah,
look at the world since 2020, we're obviously heading in that direction
yeah,
and a breakneck speed. It's pretty scary, actually. But I mean, it's all scriptural, so
yeah,
buckle your seatbelts.
yeah. So
The
it's
real
just,
the real question is, how far in the book of Revelation are we? That's
yeah,
the real question. I mean, I can still go to the grocery store, so we're not in chapter 13, but there are some countries where they're not allowing people that haven't got the to do that
yeah,
or participate in society fully. So, I mean, we're living in interesting and scary times at the same time.
yeah, yeah. I'm definitely going to be doing some videos about Revelation pretty soon, and some of the things with the son of perdition, and also finishing up our series on who they are and why they lie, because it's just too deep. It's too deep to not talk about it, and it will help you understand sort of the world today, why it's doing what it's doing, and what's about to happen. What are we trying to prepare for? Because a lot of people don't know. You can't be prepared if you have no clue what's about to happen.
Yep.
It says the fallen taught bad things. Yeah, this is the book of Enoch talking about the fallen, and then after the flood, the book
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
Jubilees talks about one of the descendants of Shem finding these stones in a city that were
Yep.
from the Watchers.
And then he was like,
And
"Oh, let me not
yeah,
tell Noah. Let me keep it to myself."
yeah, let's keep this hidden to ourselves, and this stuff has been passed on ever since. Yeah. So you find these stones. A flood can do a lot, but it's not going to erase those stones, the writings on those stones. And he'd been taught to write, or read and write, so was able
Yeah, I
to.
think the fallen angels are a big part of the coming deception.
Mhm. The
Aren't you
lying
going to
signs
redo
and
the final
wonders.
card?
Yeah, my brother's talking about it. He's finally getting his motivation back. He spent like 3 months working on that video and putting things together.
Oh
And
man, there ain't no way I'd
yeah,
spend that long on a video. Whew, that's
I know.
crazy.
I don't know. He did it though, and I thought he was going to lose his mind at one point. And
Yep.
um, he came over and he sat down right here next to me in the office, and he takes Post-it notes out, and he's like, "How can we arrange all these topics and make it to where it flows to wake somebody up that's new to this?" And so that's what he did, and he was about to hand it off to me and give up, and I was like, "Come on now, you can do this." And I'd listen to it and I'd give him some advice, and then he'd change a little bit, and before he knew it, he had it done, and it's reached a lot of people. It surpassed 70,000 on our channel. It's almost impossible. I don't know how that's happened, because once we got shadow banned, those days were over. We usually tip the scales at 14,000, and that's like in the old days that would be like 100,000 if we get
Wow,
that many.
Man, as many subs as you have, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Censorship. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So sad.
Taking back Eden. King James Version 14. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
Yep.
That's a good one. Yeah, that is that. And that's something I was thinking about the other day. I have this person at work who's really just angry because me and my brother, we opted out of wearing the masks. And you can just sense anger when you walk by somebody and they growl at you when you walk by. They're like, "Urgh," and they don't say hi. And I just thought about that unforgiveness. Like it hurts the unforgiver more than it does the unforgiven. Like the
Yep.
person you have that against, it's not really hurting them that much. Yeah, it's kind of sad to me, but it makes that person miserable. It's hard to live that way. And you don't even realize it's affecting your life until you
Yep.
finally forgive someone. It really does kind of set you free. It's something they
It's
don't deserve
amazing.
it, but you don't deserve to be hurt by not forgiving someone. So forgive them. It's so easy. I've seen it affect people, families, and the time they spend together for decades. And then by the time somebody passes on, it's too late. So make sure
Yep.
you drop that nonsense.
That's why I dedicated an entire teaching to forgiveness, because it's that important in my
Yeah.
Torah 101 series. I mean, because if you're living with unforgiveness, you're living in a prison in your mind that you created.
Mm-hmm.
And the other
Amen.
person has no idea. They're living their life. Da da da. They might be hurting somebody else, but they don't. It ain't affecting them.
Yeah. Amen. And thank you, flatearthchannel.com.
Where can we find your content?
Oh, in the description. Go go below the video right now and subscribe before it's too late. While he's still there. Yeah.
Before it's too late. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. If you go now, you can watch all of his stuff for free. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
My long lost brother Josh.
Dang. I know it's crazy. We're neighbors and had no clue. We're like practically neighbors. I hate to hear that. Karen says the booster killed my mom back in October. I hate that. Praying for you. That is a sad reality for so many to watch.
Yeah, my mom got the double tap on that one. Oh, it killed me, my sister, to hear that.
Yeah, it's tough to watch, and you just pray, Lena, let this poison not affect them. And so, praying for you guys that are dealing with that. And pray for my brother. He's in a not going to give personal details, but he's in a tough spot with similar instances. Yep. So just keep him in your prayers. The spiritual warfare, none of us are immune to it, and we really need to stay vigilant and unite.
Now is the time to go all in with your creation, with your relationships with the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
Now more than ever.
Don't take it for granted. His outreached hand is what saved us. Like so many times he's put that hand out, and his long suffering is something that I couldn't relate to, and until he picked me up and showed me that it was me that left him, and when he picked me back up, it was, I've always been here. You're the one that left me, and I've always loved you. And that's why he gives us these rules to follow, these guidelines that people think are so that he can punish us, are not so that he can punish us. It's so that we don't die. Same reason you tell your little one, look both ways before you cross the road. You want them to live. That's why you give them guidelines that make sense. We may not see the reason behind those guidelines. Why should I look both ways? I could hear a car coming. I have good ears. Bam, too late. You really need to listen to the Father's words and reread them over and over. Mm-hmm. It's out of love.
It's because he loves you.
That's let me pull this up, because a lot of people don't see this. Let me find the slide I put it on. A pattern I found in the Bible back in the Old Testament.
Oh yeah.
And it talks about his mercy enduring forever. I was going through and trying to just look up verses about his mercy and his grace. And man, it is a pattern that goes throughout the entire Old Testament. And it's trying to tell you something. And we didn't see it until we saw his beloved son show up on the scene and do his will perfectly. And he's doing things. People are like, I didn't know the Father operated that way. Well, he's doing the Father's will, and people are being healed. And that's a common line now, that when somebody's sick or somebody passes on, it was the Father's will. He needed to take your loved one. He needed another angel playing a harp, and they make up some, story that probably sounds good at the time, but death is the enemy. It's the last enemy to be defeated, and so many are going to perish. And that's one of the reasons why we're here, is to stop that from happening. We don't want that to be one of the things that people experience. That is an option, to perish, as it says in John 3:16. That word perish is to just cease to exist. There's a lot of false teachings about that as well, but you can go on and keep looking at verses. It doesn't stop there. His mercy goes on to them that love him and them that keep his commandments and fear him from generation to generation, and turn back. It's not too late. Some of you are probably in that condemnation cycle that just like robs you of your joy, because you're trying to do things on your own and moving along, and you're doing good for a little while, but then the temptation comes or whatever, you mess up. Yeah. Yep. And you get in that cycle. It's like, he doesn't want to hear from me. I've been bad. And man, that's far from the truth. He loves you and he wants to pick you up, and
got to break that cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a verse right here. Where's it at? Let me find it, because I put it in here for you guys. I hope. Why he sent his son. It says in the book of Acts, unto you first, God, having raised up his son, Jesus, sent him to bless you, and turning away every one of you from his iniquities. And it's honestly something you can't do on your own. Everybody tried and everybody failed. That's literally the whole Old Testament, is like people trying and failing. And we have been blessed to have this example to live by, telling us, hey, your will be done, telling us how to pray and all these other cool things that he did himself before the crucifixion. Thy will be done. He's living out the example he gave us. He didn't want to go through that. Could have avoided it. Could have chose the world. And we all have that situation too, where we could choose the world and kind of have the easy way out. But the Father is right there with that outreached hand and sent us his son. So I thank you again, Flat Earth Channel. What a blessing you are.
That's exactly why I'm about to do a series, because of that right there.
Yeah,
it brings people
extremely important
to the truth of the scriptures.
Yep.
That's why I'm in the fight.
It's a big fight right now, and we thank you guys for uniting with us and checking out kind of what Matt has going on with his ministry. It's growing, changing, and hopefully putting out some good fruit. All right, I'm reading comments one last time. I think it's kind of been how long have we been going? I don't want to go for too long.
Hour and 7 minutes.
A little over an hour. So we'll cut this off here really soon. Do you guys have any questions for Matt and I? Or any prayer request, anything that you need? I know, because we are all in this little fight. And I like the quote you said at our Bible study. You said you saw it on a T-shirt. It said, what did it say? Normal's not returning.
Oh yes. Yeah. Normal's not returning, but Yeshua is.
I was like, that's a genius thought when they're like the new normal.
I'm definitely gonna buy that shirt and wear it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Preston Brady. Yep. Pray for Jaron. Amen. Pray for the ones who were right there, who were seeing things and just really need that extra nudge, tug at their heartstrings. Yes. Science proves God exists. And I'm hoping to have a guest on who's done some amazing work in the field of science that does prove the existence of our Creator and makes the timeline of Earth line up perfectly with the flood. And
nice.
Hoping I won't give out any names, because I don't know. I haven't confirmed it yet, so I don't want to say, hey, yeah, this is the person, and them not show up.
Yeah, don't throw names out there.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up. But yeah, we did have. We were blessed that Matt was able to come on. I promised him when he had us on his show, and we got to share our testimony, that I'd let him be the first one when we do our live series called Fighting Fiction, and that is what we're all up against right now. We're fighting the lies of this world.
Yeah, I like the name. I was thinking about it earlier. I like it.
Yeah. So
thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt. I love you guys. It's good to see y'all in the chat, hanging out, asking questions, building each other up. You guys are amazing, and we are so blessed to have you here. Any questions? Any last questions before we go? Again, we are about to sign out, and we're going to be doing this way more often. Hopefully every week. My schedule's kind of busy and crazy, but I know you guys got stuff to get back to. So will God create a new earth someday? Or where there will be peace only? Yeah, we're gonna be diving deep into that. And this is something that to me is like new information when you read the Bible and see what's about to happen. We kind of had that I would say we were sort of brainwashed when it came to what happens at the end. You know, I just thought we're going to go to a different place and this is going to be gone. But there's going to be 1,000-year reign, and there's going to be some great things that follow that final judgment and and everything afterward. That battle that the enemy is preparing for, and they're all going to get obliterated. They know they're going to lose, but it's about leading people astray and making them think they have a chance, that they could overthrow God, that they could build this tower like they did with the Tower of Babel. And you want to be a part of that first resurrection. And the second death, you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, understanding cosmology unlocks the key to understanding eschatology or end time events. So that was a huge thing for me. Is like I used to read the book of Revelation, and I can read it now. I'm like, wow, that makes so much more sense now that I understand the truth about creation or cosmology. So that's why this topic is so important to understand Scripture overall.
Yes, every eye will see, and that didn't make sense on the globe.
Is this how it's going to happen with a phone?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I said we've all got phones. That's how every eye will see when the return happens. And so, yeah, that's a topic we're going to be getting into a little bit deeper as we go down the road. So stay tuned for sure. And again, if you're looking for Matt's content, it's in the description. You can go to his Journey to the Truth series. I put a link for that, the playlist, as well as his channel, and see how it's changing course. He's putting out some good short videos for biblical cosmology, as well as his website. And of course, the book that he's working on that he's going to allow me to co-author. If that works out, that'd be great.
Scriptural cosmology book.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, you guys are extremely, extremely a blessing to us. And so we will be seeing you around very soon. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and end this praying for you, Robert. Thank you. You guys praying for each other. Appreciate it. We will see you guys around in about a week or so. So look forward to that. We'll see you guys later.